Rayla? No, right down there. Because I can't see down here. Hold on, guys. Come on, Rayla. Okay. That's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, baby girl. All right. Let's get all our. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in the room with a special agenda. And today, we, it worked out. We're a little behind, but we are where we need to be. And when I tell you, I'm so excited that this worked out because sometimes you have to go with it whether you're prepared or not. You were hoping for it, and success is being prepared, but sometimes success is just starting. It don't matter how it's going, go on and go with it because you may miss your opportunity worrying about how things might work out if it isn't perfect. And sometimes life is not going to be perfect. It just absolutely isn't. And that's what this is. Sometimes it's not going to be perfect the way in which we hope and pray that it'll be, but we have to be appreciative of what it is. And that's what it is. Sometimes it is being appreciative and going with it, praying about it, keep working at it. Your Heavenly Father will help you get where it needs to be. But what you need to be is on board. That's it. And today we're going to talk about something that has been troubling Miss Rayla for a while. And I know that you all have heard about it. We've just talked about it. But part of it is not just accountability, but trying to understand that you may have a different value system. Most of us, everybody that's talked to Rayla recently, has had a conversation that she's kind of stuck on. And if you know her, you know that she is on the spectrum. You part of our village. If you have anyone that deals with that or has other issues that they are struggling with, where occasionally they get stuck on topics and things that trouble them, it is not our job to be dismissive of it or ask them to stop discussing it because it's hurtful to us. As parents, sometimes we want to have things be over with as far as discussions are concerned because we recognize our own failings. And as they start to recognize our failings and bring it to our attention, the problem isn't that they won't stop talking about it. We want to stop being held accountable to it because sometimes we can't do anything about it. But it's not our right to tell someone to stop hurting because they'll stop hurting from it when they feel healed. My car. Yes. We had a situation that happened a while back. She went to Miss Amazing. It went wonderful. The travel went well. She followed directions well. Um, it went better than I anticipated because I had high anxiety over it. My card. Right. What happened with your card? Someone gave her the gift of a card because they were exchanging cards. And there was a misunderstanding between her and someone else. Everybody has different communication issues. They're in different places on the spectrum. This person also had some other things that were going on as well. But what happened was, what did they ask? Because you wanted to be a friend to them, and there was a misunderstanding. They asked you to stop. They were not interested in being friends, which sometimes happened because of a miscommunication. It wasn't intentional in the nature of what happened. And part of it is sometimes you won't see eye to eye on different things. Well, what was asked was because contact was asked to be, or communication was asked to be no longer had, and she wanted to continue to try to be friends. And sometimes when we feel misunderstood, rather than attempting to be willing to let go of the situation and understand that that person may not forgive or understand, and they may in their time decide to do that, we hold on, which makes it more difficult for that person, whether it be a friendship, a dating ship, whatever it is. It gets harder. So for her, she wanted to continue to try because she felt like she didn't get her side out. She didn't get to explain better, right?
Yeah.
She didn't really want to be friends. She kind of wanted an apology, which is hard sometimes to accept when someone won't apologize to us for what they did and they won't accept our apology. Sometimes people want to go do what young people call ghosting. They want you to stop trying to contact with them, communicate with them because they don't want to communicate with you. Well, I did something that was asked to me to do, asked directly to me. And I decided to do what was asked rather than talk to her further about it. I thought it would resolve the problem. It did not. What did I do?
You got rid of my card.
I did. I did. And it didn't occur to me that she'd already memorized the number. I didn't I didn't communicate with her effectively. I didn't understand that the problem was she valued the card as a gift. To her, it was more than a piece of paper with information on it. And she'd already memorized the number anyway, so it really wouldn't resolve the problem. It actually made it worse because in my mind, I was asserting my authority as her parent. And in her mind, not only was I taking away a gift, I was taking away something that didn't belong to me. So, doing that created a rift between us, which sometimes is going to happen. Those things are going to happen even on your best day. And I had to explain to her that even if she decided to remain angry with me, which may be the case pertaining to this particular situation, it didn't mean that I didn't understand, but it did mean that I would do better in the future with communicating with you, right?
Yes.
And letting you know, because it wasn't necessarily the act of getting rid of the card, it was the act of deciding that it wasn't worth or her right to be communicated with about what was happening. Most of the times, the problems that we have with people who are on the spectrum, or you have, or we have, if we're on the spectrum, or have ADHD, even, is people not being clear on all the things that led up to the situation or what will happen in the future. Most times, the problems that they have with even being corrected is the suddenness of something unexpected. Okay, we don't do well with unexpected. For me, my issue is noise. I don't have a problem with noise that I can see and where it's coming from. I do have an issue with noise that I do not see. If you drop a book or rev your car, motorcycle, or anything, and I don't see it, I will come out of my skin and start blackout screaming in front of you. Now, I apologize in advance. Like my children know, if somebody coming for us and I see them, um, we got a problem. There will be smoke and fire. Uh, if I don't see them or where it's coming from, we running and hiding together because that's what's gonna happen. I don't know what it is. But I'm leaving. I'm leaving. It is what it is.
Have you watched A Bug's Life?
I have. And learning to understand too that it's important that they be included in whatever is going on. Right? So
Yeah.
in the near future, we will have communication on this.
I want to go to Miss Amazing.
I know, and we're planning for that next year, right? We're going to start fundraising. We are going to plan how we communicate with people more effectively. What happens when someone gives us a card? What did we decide to do when someone gives us a card the next time?
Say thank you.
Say thank you. But let them know that what do you expect? If they give you a card, you're going to let them know that you want to
talk to them.
right and ask them, is it okay before you get the card, right? So you know if there's someone who's just giving the card because they're giving a card or they want to speak to you. And
I could say, "What do you want my phone number?"
yes, and is it okay if I call?
Yes.
And sometimes, and that didn't happen in that particular situation. Fortunately, we haven't had that experience with anyone else. So, what has happened is others have been kind enough to explain if there's been a problem with the time in which she calls or the frequency in which she calls. Now, we are clear on what's appropriate, what's expected, what's allowed. It's sometimes hard for them with boundaries because not understanding what the boundaries are. If you're not clear on what the boundaries are, they don't know how to follow them. It would be like if you were on the highway and none of the exits were labeled, but you were told that you only had one exit. You had an appointment to get to. There were no landmarkers for you to know if you're taking the correct exit. What would be your chances of taking the right one? Almost none. And it's kind of like that with them. So it's important to have direction. And it's so helpful to have help. And now at our library, they've been doing something because I have been asking, make sure to ask your local librarians too, to assist you in finding information that you'll need in your journey of helping your child if they have any forms of delays, developmental concerns, or if they're on the spectrum. We're working on some things, and I got something. Baby, when I tell you I didn't know it exists and I'm so excited, I have a couple of things. Rayla, you wanna read the title of the books for our guest? Rayla, are you done? Do you want to continue to participate or are you done?
I'm ready to read.
Okay, so read the title to this one. And then hold the book up. Come, Rayla. They can't see it. They have to be able to see it. So you have to sit in your seat. Can you do that? Rayla. Okay, well, I'll just move to the other ones. This one is helping the parents and caretakers and instructors and friends and family members understand 10 things your student with autism wishes you knew. And I think this is beneficial not just in the school setting, but within the family and other caretakers who may be involved in the path of your child's life, upbringing, and day-to-day life. It's important that they know these things because it helps in preventing meltdowns, but allowing them to be seen. Sometimes one of the things that Rayla has let me know is she did not appreciate being spoken to in a manner in which it seems like she doesn't understand. But she'll let you know, I do understand. I did hear you. Sometimes she'll let me know I'm thinking about it. Because once again, sometimes there'll be moments where it's not clear what they should do. And I'll be honest and say they actually do better because they're more clear on the fact that they need time to think about things. Lots of times as parents, caregivers, and family members, we make rash decisions, and not just in their care, in day-to-day life. And then we regretful of the decision we made because we weren't patient with ourselves. And sometimes that's hard to do because it feels like there's pressure in those particular moments that a decision is made and it needs to be made urgently, or we're made to feel like it's a decision that needs to be made right then. A decision needs to be given. Rayla, do you want to read about this one? What is this? What's the title? Whole Child Reading. This one was one I really needed and didn't know even exist. And it's hard to request something you don't know exists. because you don't even know it's out there, so you can't ask for it. It's like going to a restaurant and them having a secret menu. You'd like to try it, but ain't nobody told you it's there. Those items are for people who are in the know, and sometimes it's just hidden stuff. For this one, it talks about helping your child learn to read when they have developmental and learning issues. Um, if you know and you followed me or heard any of my discussions in the past, and I was discussing the path we had to take to get my son extra help when it came to learning to read, because I didn't know how to go about helping him. And the amount of time that I cried over it, and he cried. I never let him see me cry, but I cried because of the amount of pain he was going through. He really wanted to, and he was struggling. And there's a certain process needs to be taken, and the extra assistance, and even those that are special educators, each child learns differently. And they don't always know the proper way to do it because they're trained to deal in certain patterns, but they are not always able to reach everyone. And they really need someone in the school system that has a master's in that, in special education. And most times that's not the case. Most times that is not the case. Um, and this would have been a game changer. He has learned to read. He does well at it now. I was actually reprimanding him earlier, but secretly I was kind of happy because he was reading when he was supposed to be doing some schoolwork. And anybody that knows me knows I lived in the library. Love the library, as a matter of fact. When I would get in trouble at school or anything happened where I didn't get the grade I should have gotten, my parents would take my library card. I love recreational reading. I love educational reading as well. And so to have a child who wasn't thriving in that area, because knowledge not only is power for me, it was escape, it was joy, it was entertainment, it was a friend. So to have someone tell me that it was a possibility that my child wasn't going to thrive in that area was devastating. It was devastating. But to have him come out of that on the other side, I'm so happy. And I've spoken to so many adults who went through the school system in its entirety of experience and graduated, some of them not even reading, and learned to read as adults and being told that it didn't seem to be equipped to teach them, and they felt like they could have learned within the school system, and it just kind of failed them, and it wasn't intentional. So having the tools to know how to get the best benefits of the infrastructure of the school system and how to help people help your child, it's beautiful. And this, oh my God. Now, when I tell you, where was this book? Friend, where have you been? Oh my God. The complete IEP guide. How to advocate for your special education child. Maybe when I tell you, I can tell you. Page 33, page 47, page 51. Get into it. This book was written by an attorney, Lawrence M. Spiegel, director of the National Deaf Education Project. Now, you can get this at your library. They may definitely have a digital copy or be able to get you one. So you can load it to your phone. If your phone has that capability, you can send it to your laptop or tablet if you have it. If they don't have a physical copy that you can request, they may be able to request it from another library. Oh, this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint for a successful IEP. It tells you all your rights. It tells you, baby, this that top shelf. This the top shelf. It's that top shelf. Look. This that top shelf. This is that tell you where it's at. Help me get there. This will get you where you're trying to go. This will help you construct your IP. This will tell you your rights within an IP. This will tell you the best times in your IP. This will tell you who, how, why, where, how many times, what you're supposed to get out of it, how you can write your own plan for your child's IP. When I tell you this, that get right, this right here, this right here is the one you need. This said, friend, where have you been? Right here. I can't. I just, over and over, I'm in love. Again, this one, the ADH book of list. Helping your child within the school system, helping your child every day, strategies for home. Went right to it by accident when I tell you. 173. And trying to get your child to be prepared in life, because it's so important to help them in their day-to-day life and help them learn all the life skills that they will need. But I found that as a parent, and I'm going to put my hand up twice because I'm doing it for me and my husband, and for all the other parents that do it unwittingly. And that is helping your child by constantly helping them. That is not help. They won't be able to help you or themselves later. You will constantly have people questioning you about why they do this or don't do that, because it becomes easier to complete the task for them, because they tend to have memory issues. They can't tend to find things. Their ability to retain the information, and there's a whole lot of steps, gets to be problematic. So they don't do it to your standard, and you're doing it for them without understanding that down the road, they won't be capable of the things that they need to be capable of. They will be hard. Do they have superpowers and gifts? Yes, sir. They do. But the things they will need on a daily basis, they won't have, because we're doing it for them to minimize our frustration and theirs. But this will help you form strategies to get them where they need to be and to maintain and manage your stress level. So y'all don't go crazy together and you don't have your house out by accident. Where to get professional help. This is page 424. And I like this because it's in large print. And yesterday I got myself a gift. I got a book light that lights the whole page. I paid $2 for it. I went to Be Incredibles. Okay. $2. You put it on the page and it lights the entire book. And it's a magnifier. Oh, what you talking about? I'm so excited for my little treat to myself for $2, because everybody that know me know I don't like to spend a lot of money. Period. Other people want to brag about how much they spent. I'm just thinking to myself, you crazy. Because I try to, if it's almost free, it's for me. If it's not, keep it. It's yours. Keep it. So for me to be able to get what I needed, again, something I didn't know exists. But this book here, do this. When I tell you, do this. Get these. Ask for your library, go on Amazon, eBay, look for them. Because, baby, this is it. This is the book. And there are other books also by Nolo, because it gives you the information. This is legal information in here. This will help you get the most benefit that you can get, and the rights that you have. Also, it allows you to understand, like, there were things that I didn't know. We're fortunate within our communities for no one to have asked us Because I've asked repeatedly for my children's records on numerous occasions for a fee. Because you're supposed to pay in some states a fee in the event that you request records for your children. Now, anytime you go to a meeting, it's really important that you get them to email it to you immediately, and you can check for the email while you're there, or give you a copy of the minutes of the meeting. And if they say, it's going to be a while, I got time today. I'm going to wait right here until you get it for me. Because I want to make sure no alterations were made. And then I got to prove that that didn't happen. Also, any request that you make sure that it is an email. And if you send a teacher an email that you feel needs pertinent attention, send them a text message that you sent them an email. Do that, because it's important that you constantly keep a log of, because it's also a help to them. They don't always remember, and they have lots of students to remember things and lots of deadlines that they need to know. It may benefit you all to do that so that you all can form a friendship in which there's an understanding that you are trying to work together and not against each other. Because what you don't want to appear to be is combative, even if it appears that they are. It took me a while to recognize that it was coming across like that, even if that was not my intent. And even if that was my intent, what would have been the benefit long term? Nothing. You've created an unnecessary enemy. Is everybody going to be your friend? No. But sometimes you need to respect the boundaries that are set, even if you won't like it and you don't agree. But knowing your rights is key when it comes to the needs of your child and helping them learn to advocate for themselves. Learning to take the time to hear them and understand what they're capable of and what's bothersome to them. Like Perela, she had her time said. She said what she felt like she had to say. And for her, that's enough.
I love My Little Pony.
I know. And you like to share that with your friends and that information, right?
I want to be a My Little Pony.
I know. And there's lots of ideas that you want to present, and maybe we can give that to the right people. But
look
if we
at
don't,
my
that's
bag.
okay. I know. You brought 2 bags. And you checked out your own books today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Learning to support their interests is not always easy, because sometimes in our minds as parents, we have a perspective of what we want it to look like. And sometimes we are mildly envious of what we are seeing with other people and where their children may be, if they're on the spectrum, or those whose children aren't and they're not dealing with some of the things that we're dealing with. Because in our minds and homes, when you find out that you have conceived and you're having children, you're having a child, you have a gift that is coming, you have an idea in your heart and mind of what it will look like, what you will be dealing with, what you hope that they get to experience in life. And that isn't always the case. And we constantly find ourselves trying to make life present like that, rather than being understanding that they communicate differently and that they have different interests and things that they want to talk about. We spend our free time being embarrassed, frustrated, overwhelmed, upset, and trying to control them in hopes that they will eventually become what we want it to look like. Take the time to celebrate who people are, even if it doesn't look like what you were expecting. It is the gift that you have been given. That doesn't mean it's not a good gift because it wasn't what you were expecting. Sometimes the gift you weren't expecting was given to you because there was something you needed to learn. And sometimes what we need to learn is appreciation. because what you were
I love
upset
my bag. It's so cute. And
that
has
it
little
wasn't the
roses,
kind of gift
the little
that you
flowers.
wanted.
I love
It
the
didn't
cute
operate the
adorable
way you
bag.
wanted.
It's
Somebody
adorable and
would have
cute
been
and pretty
happy
as a princess.
just to get a gift because it didn't get
It's
anything
cute.
at all.
I love my bag.
Take the time to love each other, support each other, and show that person that they don't need your approval to exist, but they do need your support.
I love my
And that's
bag.
what true friends
It's
do.
so cute and adorable and pretty as a princess.
Try to see each other, support each other, and encourage each other. And sometimes we need to do that for our children as well. They are not a disappointment. They are someone that deserves to be
Who's your
celebrated,
favorite?
understood, and even in the moments when there is redirection that has to be given, their gift needs to be acknowledged.
Who's your favorite from My Little Pony?
My favorite is who?
Rainbow Dash.
Why?
Why?
Because she's kind, she's funny, and she's fast. She's quick, but she's also understanding. And even though she's not perfect and she makes lots of mistakes, she takes accountability, right?
Yeah.
So she is my favorite. Who's your favorite? My Little Pony.
Rarity.
Yep. So you all have a very beautiful night. Find the beauty in each other. It's important. Everybody deserves an opportunity to be found beautiful. Our Heavenly Father finds us beautiful.